Hi everyone, I'm Emily Amison. We are excited to be hosting a demo today to walk you through the new professional boat shopper in the new MLS. So we will be giving you a demo, and I'm going to ask that if you have any questions, you can pop them into the chat on the screen, but please let us get through the demo and then you can start putting all of your questions in the chat. We find that a lot of the questions people ask are actually going to be covered in the content that will be coming up in a minute or in 2 minutes. So if you hold your questions until after the demo is done, pop them in the chat. We will have plenty of time to read through all of the chat comments, and we can answer all of the questions that you may have. Okay, so with that, I'm going to get started. All right, so we're looking at the new MLS, and the last webinar we had, we walked through the new MLS and we did a demo on that. So today what we're going to do is run a couple searches, and then we're going to save the search as if it was a search for yourself or even searches for customers, and we're going to show you how to do that. So up here at the top, this is where our saved searches are going to end up being listed. So we're just going to run a basic search here. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm just going to do a search for Sea Ray. And as I select the make, you notice on the right-hand side the listings automatically updated. And let's say I'm looking for anything from 2010. So I popped a year in there, and I'm going to filter down to my regions now. So my region, I'm going to start out, if I'm in North America, I'll select North America, and then the United States. And then as I scroll down, the states for the country I have selected will be showed. So let's say I want to look at Florida. So if this is a search that I run often or you run often, and again up top here, just a reminder, your search criteria will be listed here. So if this is a search that I run often and I want to save it, if I want to save this one for myself, I'm going to scroll down here. And in the bottom left, you're going to see the box for professional boat shopper. And I'm going to click save this search. And when I click save this search, you're going to see the options open up for existing customer, or I can enter in customer information. I'll be able to name it and add notes. So let's say that this is just for myself. It's not relating to an existing customer or new customer. And I'm just going to name this Sea Ray, Florida, and for the sake of the demo, I'm going to call this PBS demo. And then for my notes, I'm going to say this is my Sea Ray, Florida search for the PBS demo. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. You're going to see email notifications. The box is default to checked. So what this means is I will receive an email alert as new listings that meet my search criteria are added. If I don't want to receive email notifications, I can uncheck this box. And I always have to check the terms of use privacy policy checkbox. So I'm going to save this search. And my search was saved. I want to go look at it now. So I click the View PBS button, and it opens up my professional boat shopper window. So you're going to see up here at the top, email notification address. So if I had selected an email notification, this is the address I would be going to. If I didn't want all of my email alerts going to the address that's listed up here, I could edit it by clicking over here on the right, and I could actually change it to my BoatWizard email, or I can type in a different email here and click save. And now my searches are going to be listed in this box here. So we just created a new search and we had named it Sea Ray, Florida for the PBS demo. So it's down here at the bottom. And then you're going to see that the notes that I typed in are listed here as well. So you can create as many saved searches that are beneficial to you. And if this is a search that you run all of the time and you need it to be listed as your default search, meaning anytime you come to the MLS and you want this search criteria to be what you open the MLS looking at, you can set it as your default. So I'm not going to set it as my default quite yet. If I needed to go back and view my search results related to this particular saved search, I could click here. There's a trash can icon. I could delete this saved search. I could edit the search filter criteria. And then again, these are my notes. So let's say that I want to go back and edit my search. I'm going to go back. My search criteria is listed here, and I have the ability to then edit my search. So let's say in addition to Florida, I also want to add Alabama. And then I could update my search. So now I'm going to scroll back to the top of the page and show you in this My Saved Searches box. If I click the drop down, the search that we created is here, the Sea Ray, Florida PBS demo. So if you have saved searches that you run often, for example, if you are a user that needs to look at listings in one particular area, this is where you create your view for that particular area. So for example, Southeast region. If you have a particular list of states or cities that you believe is your Southeast region, you could create your search based on the criteria that meets your needs, and you could save it right here and have a quick, easy access to searches that you run often. So let's do a clear. And we're now going to do a default, set a default. So let's say for your default, you're only looking in North America, and you're only looking in the United States. And let's say you have a particular list of states that you only do business in. So let's say it's Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. Now within these states, you also then have the option to select particular cities. So if you want to get as detailed as, in Florida, I really only want to look at Miami or Miami Beach. You can get detailed with the cities here as well if you want to make those selections. So I'm going to save this search. And give it a name. I can add notes to it. I don't want to receive email notifications, so I'm going to uncheck that. And I'm going to click to save. And I'm going to click the View PBS to go in to my list of all of my saved searches. So let's say that that's a search that I want to set as my default. So anytime I come into the MLS, that search filter criteria will be applied. I can check the box over here on the right-hand side to assign a default search. So then when I go back into the MLS will load with my default search. So that's a really great way to make sure every time you come in, you already have the basic filters that apply to you already selected, or you can have your saved searches for searches that you're running all of the time. And again, you can edit those, delete them, update them as needed. So now let's say we have a search that, we have a particular customer who is looking for something. So you want to know when boats come available that meet their search criteria. So let's say they want a new boat. And we're just gonna a new Bahama. All right, so we're gonna select the make, and let's say, again, for year, they want something 2015 or after. And you wanna save this search. So for a new customer, you'll enter in their information here. So we're gonna call this our demo customer. And we can have our email here, and you can have their phone number here, and this will be their Bayliner boats. You can have your customer information here. Customers looking for. You can have all of your notes right here. And say you do want to receive email notifications. So when new listings come available, you want to know about it right away. You can save the search. We can go look at it in our PBS if we would like to. So now your searches are listed up top here. You can see that by the gray bar, your searches. If I scroll down, I'm going to see a gray bar separating each of my customer saved searches. So we just added demo customer, and in here is the name and my search criteria, as well as my notes. So again, from here, you could delete this search, go to the search results, edit the search. You could delete the entire customer if you're not working with them any longer. You can manage your searches here for your individual customers. So we're going to go back to the top here. So for the new MLS, you will probably notice or have noticed that we did not migrate all of your existing saved searches from classic MLS into the new. This is something that we looked at. We wanted to do it. The effort became very complicated and convoluted. There was a lot of bad data, or there is a lot of bad data sitting in the classic MLS when it comes to these saved searches. We didn't want to migrate all of the bad into the new, and deciphering what needed to be moved and what didn't became extremely complicated. So if you have a ton of saved searches and you don't want to recreate all of your saved searches, please work with your account manager. The account management team is ready and on point to help you move or recreate those saved searches for you. They've already started an outreach program where they're proactively calling out, asking if this is something you would like help with. However, you can recreate your saved searches in the new. All right, so we're going to go back into the MLS now, and that customer that we had just created the saved search for, they're going to show up here in my existing customer list. So you can have multiple searches saved for a particular customer. You can save to the existing customer. And again, if you need to edit anything about that customer or that saved search, you can get there by going to the View PBS button. You can also get to your professional boat shopper saved searches up here in the navigation. So just like for the MLS, you have your MLS tab for the new and the classic. You have the same option up here as well. So you can get to your saved searches in these two spots. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here, stop here. I think this is a good place to stop it and take some questions.
Emily, I'm not sure if you have in your inbox a example email of what they receive.
I do not, but I can grab one and pull one up. If you guys give me a minute here. All right, so let's start looking at some of the questions here. And I can, in the meantime, pull up an email to show you as to what it looks like. It's going to look just like this page. The email was designed to look like this page, but we can show you what that looks like. I would like instructions or help on moving my searches. So to move your searches, we're literally just recreating the searches. So you would just recreate the search criteria and save new. If you would like help on that, you can reach out to your account manager and they're happy to assist you.
Yeah, Javier, as we spoke in the chat, I'll definitely make sure that your client account partner reaches out to you after this demo.
Can I do a save as search instead of update search or a clone? Can I do a save as search? Right now, so there isn't a clone option. I'm thinking about how to do this easily. So if you wanted to clone something, let's say, for example, the search that we did for demo customer. If you wanted to clone that, you could go to your view results, and then you would be able to just resave it. So you could save it as something new for another customer. So this could be your demo customer too. And then you would put that customer's email on there and their phone and then name it. So that would be an easy way to clone something by pulling it up and saving it as another name. Let's see, how long will Classic be available? As of right now, we do not have a date as to when we will be taking it down. The goal is to continue to work through BoatWizard and continue to update BoatWizard and improve the various sections. And as people are starting to use and adopt the new MLS, at that point, many months in the future, we will assign a date as to when we will take the classic MLS down, but that's really being driven off of you guys and customer confidence. So right now, no set date. And when a date is decided, what we'll do is we'll paste a banner in the classic MLS telling you when classic will be going away. And then Juan, who is part of the marketing team, will be doing updating you guys in multiple ways. So no date as of now. How can I save settings, especially in the print section? Must always choose the format and myself as the broker. So for print, we are going to be tackling boat details page and print next in our work that we're starting to work on for improving BoatWizard. Right now, I can't there's nothing that I can tell you for print, but we do have improvements, drastic improvements to print that will be coming. When we save a customer, does the PBS email the customer the new listings as they are posted? No. So the email address that you're entering in here, so when you're saving a search and you're entering in an email here, this is just for you guys to know what their customer information is. So if I'm here if I go into my PBS, up here at the top, email notification. Every single one of your email alerts goes here. So you don't want these emails going to your customers, because it's going to be sending you links to the MLS, which they don't have access to. So this is just for you guys, and it's a place for you guys to save listings as they come available for your customers that you're working for right now. And if you need to change the email notification address, you can do that up here by clicking edit. We've defaulted to send it to your BoatWizard email address, but you can select one other email address to send your notifications to. So again, you should not be putting a customer email alert in up here, because they would receive alerts and emails for all of your saved searches that you have an email set up for. And something else to point out in here, how do you know if you have an email alert set up or not for one of your saved searches? You'll see this little email icon above the trash can. So if there's an email icon set up, that means that you have set up email alerts for that particular saved search. And if you want to take the email alert off for the saved search, you can just go back and edit and then uncheck the email notification checkbox. The classic MLS gave you an email for new listings pending change price. Does this still exist in the new professional boat shopper? So yes, by checking that email alert checkbox, as boats or as listings are changed or added that are going to be meeting that saved search criteria, you will receive an email alert if you have checked the email alert checkbox. So I'll go back and show you where that is really quickly. So in the professional boat shopper box here, bottom left, email notifications. So it's defaulted checked to receive email alerts. If you don't want to receive an email alert, you can uncheck it. So save as another copy. Yep, you can start with that base search and then click save, save the search and just rename it. Yep. How long will the classic PBS criteria be available? Again, no set date to take things away at this time. When a date is decided, you will have a great deal of notice, and we will notify you in multiple ways when that date has been decided, but no time soon. In the daily email we receive, it gives us up to 15 boats in that search criteria. In the classic, there was a see all or something to that effect. Now it says see all listings, but it displays the entire Yacht World database. Dave, I'm going to look into that right after this call, so that should not be the case. You should just be receiving up to the 15, and then when you click to go see all, you should be seeing the listings that had to do with your particular criteria. So let me look into that after this, and I'm going to write your name down so we can get back to you. Okay, are the states added in the search options as well? Often we search for the Gulf Coast states from Texas to Florida. Yep, so this has thrown off a lot of people. So the states don't appear until you have selected your region or country. So this is where it's good to use that default saved search, depending on where you are in the world. So if you're in North America, country, United States. So you could set your default as that, but then within there you could see when the United States is selected, when USA is selected, it opens up the states within the United States. So you can go in here and start checking the states that you search for the most, and you would be able to just create a search, and you could save your search as Gulf Coast or Gulf states. Any plan to make it so we can click and go to that search to see the new daily list? Yes, that is how we want it to be working. So I'm going to look into what's going on there. With auto notification selected, how soon will you be notified after a matching listing is posted? So we have emails going out once a day. I believe the job is running, is it?
It's very early morning Eastern time. I believe it's 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, thank you, Juan.
No worries.
Yeah, but it's a once a day. Or save settings on a search, like always used boats. Yep, so to save your settings on a search, you enter in your search criteria, and then you can come down here, and in the professional boat shopper, in the box down here, you're able to, if you don't want to put in customer information, you can just save your search. And you could add your notes here, and then you'd be able to have that saved, and it would appear up here in your list of saved searches. So if it's something that you're looking for often, but you don't want it to be your default, you can have it here. Can you have multiple customers under a single search? No, to save the search, you have to do one customer at a time. But what you could do is after you've saved it, you can go back in, edit it, resave it again, almost like a clone. When emailing customers from BoatWizard, must the email come from BoatWizard? Example from Lewis Kopp via BoatWizard. So we're going to be tackling email along with our boat details page and print, and we can look into that if we're able to have your email come from another email address. I can't answer that right now. I think there's a lot of factors that we have to consider there. But as we get into tackling email, we'll definitely take note of that. How do you set the default? Okay, so what I'm going to do, say you've entered your search criteria and you have saved a search. So the first thing you do is you save a search, and once the search is saved, over here on the right, you can set your default. And you can have only one default set. So once you've set that, that's it. You don't have to click save or anything. And then when you go back into the MLS, your default will be set. So it just takes a second and then it's running. So anytime you come back to the MLS, your default will run if you have one set.
for Joe's question regarding the next webinar for PBS, we haven't decided when we'll do the next one, but this current webinar is being recorded. So following this, the end of this webinar, we'll go ahead and post it within the BoatWizard Help Center. So you'll have that available so you can kind of go back and just look at things. But if we decide to do another PBS webinar, we'll make sure to send out the invites and let you guys know.
Thanks, Juan.
Yep.
Okay, then email, you want it to come from your customer email address and not BoatWizard. I completely understand that. And so I'm making a note of that for our email requirement gathering. So when we get to that portion of the project, we're gonna take that into consideration and see what we can do there. If a non-BoatWizard shopper using Yacht World sets up search criteria in their PBS, when do they get an email for new listings, change price, or sale pending? I'm not. Are you referring to Yacht World and not the MLS? So for this professional boat shopper here for the MLS, the email goes to you, the broker, so you guys know what's new for your customers. So you'll be able to reach out as you would like. So this is not related to professional boat shopper for the customer. So the MLS professional boat shopper is only internal facing.
Correct. There is another one I think you're referring to, which is the personal boat shopper that exists within Yacht World. We can go back to the team and verify how often the cadence of those emails get sent to the customer. And we'll get back to you on that one, Bill.
Okay, so one more question. In the classic search, you could set up a search to be notified about all added change and price change. Now in advanced, you can only select one from the pull down. Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying. So I'm going to click into advanced here. So it's almost as if we need this to be multifaceted. So understood. Good suggestion. Thank you. So I'm going to take a note of that. Can you set up an automatic drip email to customers? Here are a few boats you may like. It sounds like this would be better. We should talk to the Yacht World team about this too. It might be better to do that on the customer facing side.
So we do currently have that in place on the customer facing side, on the buyers facing side of the portals. And it's basically dictated by their search and their criteria. So every so often they'll receive an email saying, hey, have you looked at this boat? Or we noticed that you looked at this boat, a few days ago, it's still up for sale. Or if there's a price change, similar to what we were discussing with the personal boat shopper. So that does exist right now, and that is taken care of by our demand generation side for the buyer side of things.
So question, what's the purpose or benefit of inputting the customer email into the saved search parameters? If it doesn't notify customers, will you be evolving this into a customer facing tool? So the purpose was, it was entirely to try to help you guys out. So if you have a large amount of customers, you don't have to dig up their email every single time. Coming to this page here, it's just an all-encompassing place to see this was the customer, this was the search criteria for your search, here's their email address. It was just meant to be helpful for you guys. So no plans to make this customer facing right now.
And I think we did skip one question on Soulboats from Bill. Is soulboats.com still available for saved search criteria in the new PBS?
is sold boats ready for the new PBS? So no, we do not have PBS in with sold boats. We will be, so what we will be doing is like you could do in Classic. We're going to be updating sold boats because sold boats is still quite old. So we'll be updating it to look and feel a little bit more like the MLS. But we don't have Professional Boat Shopper, the new Professional Boat Shopper set up for sold boats.
And Emily, we also have some questions in the Q&A box.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I do searches all the time and it remembers nothing.
We'd have to go ahead and reach out to you with a client account partner, Michael, just to see what's going on, if everything's being done correctly. So following this webinar, we'll go ahead and do that.
Yep. So it's the new MLS does not automatically save your search or remember anything. So you have to enter in your search criteria and then come down here and click save this search. So if you're doing save this search and you're naming it and nothing is working for you, we definitely need to look into that. But it doesn't automatically remember your searches. You have to proactively save them. So we'll reach out to you, Michael. Okay, will you be able to send our client the listing from that they can open? No, not at this time. Right now, if you look at what's coming into your email, you're coming back into the MLS. So the email is showing you the listings in the MLS, which is definitely not customer facing.
What you can do is use the icons on the right, Robert, that first shared one. If Emily clicks on that. So if you have a listing you want to share with somebody, you go ahead and you click on that share icon at the top. And then you take that URL that Emily just highlighted and you send that to your client. So when they receive this, they receive exactly what you're seeing here. So they'll be able to email you directly or call you directly about the listing. All right, we have another one from Michael. Emily, I shop for my client and find the boats that fit from the list and want to send multiple boats that open up when he clicks on the listing so that they go as links and open up when they click on the boat. I think this share feature in the icon does cover that. Again, it's probably the best thing you can do when you want to send a client a listing, just because it's very interactive, that link, for them to easily call you and email you and just contact you about that. But yeah, Michael, we'll set you up with a client account partner and just make sure that they can walk you through the steps of the new MLS and the new PBS experience. And a question from John. Do you ever plan to include in the alerts when a boat changes status as sales pending or sold?
We don't have immediate plans to change that, but if this is something that would be beneficial to all, it's definitely feedback we want to know. So yeah, please share that feedback with your account manager, your sales rep, so they can get it back to us. So if this is something that will benefit you guys, then it can be done. And
then we did have a comment from Bill. Why are you trying to roll this out with so many loose ends? So just to be very transparent, Bill, BoatWizard in general as a tool has many different facets that coincide with one another, that attaches everything to one another. So it's very complicated just to try to update everything at once because one, resources, and two, the length of time. So as we work through this year, we are rolling out BoatWizard 3.0, starting with the MLS. And then as Emily mentioned, we're going to update the MLS boat detail pages, as well as the print and email functionality. New sold boats will be available as well, and we're going to do a cleanup on the IMT and CRM systems as well. So all of this is scheduled to be worked on for this year. It's rather complicated because of the back end of of BoatWizard in general, but it's something that we're very ambitious to get done. And I'm sure as soon as everything is complete and working in unison as it should, you're gonna really feel that it's a better experience overall.
So the sold boats question, the classic PBS, when you displayed a specific saved criteria, it shows the current for sale listings, and there was a line on the top of those displayed listings that allowed you to get directly into the sold boats. Is that still the case? So we will be adding that toggle in to be able to view these sold boats based on the criteria that you were looking at for the active. So sold boats work it's yet to come. It is definitely on our agenda and on our radar. But we have not updated new MLS to align with old. So sold boats will update new MLS to align with the new sold boats. So on this page, you asked me to scroll down, Heather. Does that share listing function show the listing broker? So this would be down here, the contact information. This I'm logged in as just a demo test brokerage. So it would add your information here, your contact info down here.
Yeah, it would be your information, Heather.
I noticed that with the screen of boats in the window, non-picture view, that is really slow to look for boats quickly. Far fewer boats per screen due to the second line of information. Eventually takes a lot more focus. The borders separate them. Having the model name in the middle seems to make it harder to scan. Yes, David, thank you for that feedback. We actually did do a look at the list view again yesterday, and we had the same feedback that the centering is throwing off things a little bit visually, so we need to do some aligning there. That second line of information, so this gets tough. You know, what information do we show or not show? It seems like it's very hard to make everyone happy when it comes to how much information to show. But in that list view, you know, we can get a poll out there to everybody. If it's not beneficial to have that contact information in the list view as a second line, it's something we can definitely remove to show more boats in that list view. So we can do our due diligence there and get more feedback on that. We included it because the general consensus was we need to see that quickly and easily. But if that's just visually not helpful, we can, you know, always looking to improve. Okay, I think that's everything.
And just some feedback from Dave that you are going to look at the boat details before you call. Thank you for that feedback, Dave, and for everyone's feedback. We definitely take into account all your feedback before we actually proceed with further developments. We actually do have a board of power users for BoatWizard, made up of a pool of you know, folks in the industry that are brokers, dealers, and you know, the sort. And we always meet with them to collaborate. So a lot of this development work is not just our team from a technology standpoint and a user experience standpoint developing this, but it's a collaboration with the industry. So I just want to always mention that. We're always taking feedback in, and please keep it coming. If you guys have further questions, feel free to visit the BoatWizard Help Center. You can email us at support@boatwizard.com or helpcenter@boats.com. That's the best email. And we're always looking at that feedback. And again, thank you so much for everything you guys help us out with.
Thanks, Juan. And we did have one last question come in. How do I become a power user and get involved in beta testing? Would it be easiest if we just have you guys email the help center and we can grab your name that way?
Yeah, I think it'd be easy. And I'll put this into the chat just so everyone has it. But again, email is helpcenter@boats.com. And this webinar will be available by the end of today. So either end of today or early tomorrow. We are going to send a communication out to everyone, letting them know when it's up. And we'll make sure the client, your client account partner knows as well. So I think that's it for now. We want to thank everyone. Emily, thank you so much for running through the demo.